And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. Over 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 4 o'clock drive time on AM 860 The Answer. We got a weekend show on 102.5 The Bone on Sunday mornings. And our TV show is syndicated on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and 85 other smart television outlets. Search Binge Networks and you'll find us there. And we have a great show lineup for you today. Intelligent Talk Radio. Let's make some introductions here. We got Diane Vance back in studio. Fairway Independent Mortgage. Welcome back in.
Hey, Brandon. Great to be here today. I'm going to talk about some savings ideas.
Nice. Savings. Everybody can use some savings from time to time.
Yep.
I like that.
I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and so they can actually come up with down payments.
Very good. Yes,
right.
Down payment. That's one of the biggest misnomers we see. Down payment assistance programs available.
Yep.
Lots of good things happening in the real estate market.
Absolutely.
Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. Welcome back in, sir.
Hey, Brandon. Great day. Always a pleasure to be in USA today.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about gun safety, self-defense, and, of course, you got an awesome location right here in Hillsborough County.
Yep. What we do, what we always do, and what we love to do.
Yeah, I like it. All right, good stuff. This segment's brought to you by Taps Restaurant as well. The official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Taps Restaurant over at the International Plaza on Bay Street. Excellent food, very friendly staff, wonderful menu as well. They got great food there, located at the International Plaza on Bay Street. And by the way, save the date, March 25th, Wednesday, March 25th, we're hosting Tampa Bay's best speed networking event at the restaurant right there at the International Plaza. Check out eventbrite.com. The pages are up for eventbrite.com. Save that date, Wednesday, March 25th. It's going to be an evening event, 6:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's going to be a great time. Come out and meet some of our radio show partners, expert contributors on the show, and also, of course, our real estate team will be there from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And again, our goal is to help you win in any marketplace. And we want you to save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. And have you ever gone on vacation and got lost in the jungle? Well, this family did. A mother and her 3 children survived 34 days in the Colombian jungle after getting lost on vacation. So find out about that in our feel-good story of the day. And also, we're going to talk about in the lightning round, Albert Morabian's 738-55% rule of personal communication and how that can affect your negotiations and even relationships of all types. So we got a great lineup for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I wanted to touch on a hot listing that we've got here in Tampa Bay, 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. This is a $2 million property that we've got listed up in Port Richey, waterfront beauty. Check out this beautiful property and the great photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks, the official real estate photographer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. Now, this property has 2 guard gates before you even get on the street. And it's waterfront, of course. You got bay access, deep water access, fishing, throwing some really cool parties there at this property. 4348 Harbor Point Drive, over 6,600 square feet at this lovely property. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. So we got our A-team in the house today. Diane Vance, a plethora of knowledge in the real estate lending space, a top 5 lender in the country, managing over 36 to 40 or so people on your team. What are you seeing out there in the real estate space?
Well, the interest rates are actually dropping again unfortunately because of the flu. But it is because it kind of goes hand in hand with the market.
How does it go hand in hand?
Well, it goes hand in hand because as the stock market kind of takes a hit and they start thinking about global businesses and global economy, it slows down the economy a little bit. So when things are not great in the economy, it actually is good for interest rates.
It's good for rates,
right? So
like
it's kind of the opposite of what you want.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite of what everybody thinks. But Yeah. So yesterday, the Feds decided to kind of hold steady and keep a watch. I don't think they're going to, increase any rates at all, but that really is just a small part of the actual mortgage interest rates. It's based on the 30-year mortgage-backed securities is what's based on that. It kind of depends on who's where the people are investing, whether they're investing in bonds or they're investing in stock market. So when the stock market starts falling, people start investing in the bonds. But today I want to talk about, because I've talked to a lot of people that want to buy a house, but they don't have any money. So it's kind of important. Even if you use down payment assistance program, you're still going to need some money to close.
Right.
But if they can save $20.80 per day, they will have $10,000 in 1 year.
Wow.
So they want to think about that cable bill, going to Starbucks, gone to lunch wherever at the fast food place. Should, if you actually just take $27.80 a day and put it away, you will have $10,000 without any interest, even, which you may not get a lot of interest on, during that time, but it'll be over $10,000, and you can actually purchase a $200,000 house with $6,000.
Wow.
And then you have your closing costs, of course, but you could always negotiate that. So you have a lot of what you would need so if you plan ahead, you're going to be able to purchase in a year.
Yeah.
So it's just that simple.
That's right.
I like to think of myself not just as I think of myself as a mortgage advisor, not just as a mortgage lender, because I want you to think about your future.
Right.
And I want you to think about, we want it to be a pleasant, fun experience to own a home. Not only are you building wealth, but you're also, I encourage people to save while they're actually building the wealth. So, I talked to them about their children and their college and things like that. So what are their plans? Where do they want to be at? How long do they want to stay in the house? All those type things. So it's not just one thing. I want the folks that I deal with call me for any question they ever have. I'm not a financial advisor, but I have a lot of people that I know that are. So, I can help them that way. But really and honestly, it's about just being disciplined enough to save $20.80 per day.
$20.80 per day will change your life, and it's one of those
Actually,
things.
$27.80.
$27.80. Okay, so if you can come up with something close to that number. Yeah. If you can figure out a way, hey, instead of going out to eat for lunch, I know it's fun, it's but your ticket ends up being $8.60 or $12.40 if you eat out. Rather than doing that, maybe even a couple days a week, you say, hey, I'm just going to make a tuna fish sandwich or whatever.
Right. Or you take your cable bill and you do streaming. I don't, cable's kind of expensive for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So cut back on the cable and maybe do some streamings or something like that. But it's really about just being disciplined and, saving almost $28 a day.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have $10,000 at the end of the year that you can put toward a property. There's now, so that's awesome. So you have a lot of money ready to go. Plus, if you work with a realtor that knows how to work, negotiation style strategy there, you could actually keep a lot of that money in the bank. It's good to have it that way. The underwriter sees that you have reserves, and it's good to help qualify. Yep. But you could work in seller concessions, down payment assistance programs, and now I know there's income qualifications for that.
Yes, there are. You can down payment assistance program. You can purchase a home. There's different incomes based on your family size, and so it's quite high. It's $93,000 and some odd amount, changes every year, and it's actually was just raised this year.
And what is that for now? So household income, $90,000. What is that qualifying you for?
Well, it will qualify you for. It depends on your credit score, of course. Okay. You have to have a certain credit score, which is 640, and it will qualify you for. There's a grant. There's a 3% grant. There's a flat rate of $10,000. There's actually a program, but you probably wouldn't find a house for the amount, but there's in Pinellas County, there's actually a program. You have to have 50% of the income, median income, which is quite low. You probably wouldn't find a house for that, but they do have assistance all over. Yeah. We have several assistance programs, but also you can get gift funds from family members, your tax returns. You just have to start the planning process. $27.80 a day is not much. And whatever you can save is can go towards, put it in a house account or whatever it is, and just don't even look at it.
GoFundMe,
Yeah.
tax returns, gift funds, seller concessions, down payment assistance. Sounds like there's a lot of ways to eliminate those objections to buying a home.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's, I talk to people all the time and they're like, I don't know if I could. And I'm like, okay, you're paying around, you've just, 5 years, you spend $88,000, 15 years, you spend $266,000.
Yeah.
I actually talked to a lady yesterday that has been renting for 10 years.
Wow.
And she's been waiting to pay off her debt. I'm like, if you wait to pay off all your debt, you will never buy.
Yes, and it starts in the mind, right?
It
really does. Like, so that one mistake that she made, she sold herself on the idea, well, I'm going to keep renting until I pay off this credit card debt. And how that snowballs, 20%.
Debts,
student
whatever
loan,
they are.
Attack the highest rate first, but then, that's
do both.
And the problem is someone that doesn't understand, they don't know what they don't know.
Correct.
They're in that position. And now 10 years later, she's probably paid a couple $100,000 to her landlord.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And her rent was quite high. It was like
paid off the landlord's house.
Yes, $1,600 a month. It was very high. And
wow.
So she was getting different advice. And she said, well, I'm getting the tax refund back, but I want to pay off my credit card because my car broke. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody has debt. I'm sorry. It's the way it is.
That's right. It's the American way, baby.
Sometimes it's worse if you don't have any debt, because then I even have trouble because I have to build a credit file.
Yeah.
So
trade lines,
that's even harder.
Yeah.
So then we have to look into, okay, how do you pay your rent? How do you pay your cell phone bill? How do you pay your rent? How do you pay? You have to have 4 lines of credit, but you're not getting the best interest rate because you've actually not built credit.
Yeah.
So,
I had an awesome meeting yesterday about a new listing agreement or listing appointment. The gentleman's younger guy, graduated from UT here in Tampa Bay, and I said, "Man, your parents got to be proud of you." He already owned like 12 or 13 Airbnb properties, cash flowing those.
Wow.
And then he also would just lease other properties. He'd put them on a rental, regular monthly rental, but then he would sublease them. And he was making money there. So I said, man, you're doing some good stuff, man, at a young age. So that's really cool. Wow. So when we come back, I want to talk about the investor side. Okay. Money that's being made in Airbnb. And I think there's a bubble coming in that Airbnb space, that VRBO space, of those short-term rentals, especially with the Super Bowl coming here to Tampa Bay, WrestleMania coming up around the corner. But we're also going to have a text versus rent versus own analysis as well in the show as well. So if you want to reach out to Diane Vance, reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. Just give us a call or a text, 813-670-7372, and we'll get you in touch with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Coming up, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. We're going to talk self-defense and gun ownership here, right on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask to me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Battles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your you're super connected. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back to life. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Our goal is to help you win as your consumer advocate. We're real heavy, of course, on the real estate and mortgage side, but we got great contributors in the areas of health and nutrition, recreation. We're going to talk gun safety today as well, and self-defense here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So I'd love for you to reach out. We've had an uptick in calls lately, people texting, reaching out for that rent versus own analysis that we offer, the credit package that we offer from William Crowley, the CMA offer. We offer a free comparable market analysis for any homeowners out there looking to value their property. So we'd love for you to reach out, platinummvpteam.com, and we'll help you in your real estate business. So we got a couple of hot listings here I want to let you know about now. 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. This is a builder and a developer's opportunity here. What we have is, and check out the beautiful drone photography, compliments of Fabre Frameworks, but you've got 90-acre ski lake here with 5 lots available. So if you want to build and develop, if you're a builder developer, you've got 360 feet of lake frontage on Bell Lake, which is right at $1 million, just over $1 million listing here. But it's a beautiful property, great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. So attention builders and developers, lakefront lots are available. 8 total lots here in the community. Check out 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. All right, we got 4207 Southdale Mabry. Unit number 1203. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath opportunity in South Tampa. Very, very close proximity to the waterways. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in-unit condo in Grand Key condominium community. You got a pool, all of the amenities that you would expect at a nice upscale resort-style living here at 4207 South Del Mabry. Check out all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.com. Big shout out to the Golf Cart Depot. This segment's brought to you by the golfcartdepot.com. New and used golf carts available. They've got huge inventory, and they are super cool to work with. Say hello to Marty over there if you want to go take a test drive. Test drive some of these new golf carts that they have, personal use or commercial use. And I actually use them for getting out in the neighborhoods, meeting my neighbors, door knocking, and check out that beautiful Keller Williams red golf cart that we have, compliments of Golf Cart Depot. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you there in Land O'Lakes and Clearwater, just off of US 19. Big shout out to Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to Marty, and make sure you let him know that you heard about him right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's jump into it. We got Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy, self-defense. We talk a lot about the fun side of it as well. It's a sporting opportunity to come in, and in our Second Amendment right
always
is
under
attack, man.
I wanted to back up for a second. The Speed Network event.
Yeah.
So explain to me a little bit how that goes on. So when people, we all show up, because most people don't know. So
Wednesday, March 25th. So here's the thing: when people go to events, they're like they're nervous, they're scared, they're in the corner, depending on the type of person you are. They don't meet everybody, but at this event, you're going to meet every single person there, or at least a high percentage, I should say.
Right.
So everybody comes in, they get a red or a green wristband, right? Every 3 minutes, the DJ is going to say switch, boom, find somebody you haven't talked to yet, and you look around red and green. So that way you're engaging in conversation, meeting a lot of new people.
You know, and the cool part about it is you get to meet so many business partners, business owners, because the last one that I went to with you all, even Diane, you get to meet so many people and how we all can help each other out.
Exactly.
So I don't know how many times someone said, oh, I need to get your car. We need to talk to each other. So really cool event. So I just want to make sure everyone understands what a speed networking is.
Awesome.
But today I want to talk a little bit about what some of the things that people don't realize that what you need to do for a firearm, some of the laws and everything. But I first want to go over this. If you only save $7.52 for 10.6 days, you can become a member. I'm just kidding. You can become a member at Florida Firearms Academy, but as a member of Florida Firearms Academy, you don't have to be a member to shoot there. You can just show up and shoot there. It's $14.95, unlimited shooting time. Plus, we're going to show you how to hold, load, aim, and shoot a firearm free of charge, correctly and safety. We have 70 different firearms. You can rent, try them all for $30. That way you get to see what's best works for you. But some of the questions that we get daily, all the time, people come in and they say, don't I need to get a concealed weapon permit to buy a firearm? But no, you do not need this. You just need to be a legal citizen. You need to be 21 years of older now that new law has passed, and you're not a felon. So as long as you can pass your background check and you have money, then you can go ahead and purchase a firearm.
That's one of the biggest questions that I had back in the day, because there was this whole misconception of, well, it's got to be 2 steps away from you as long as it's in the glove box, locked up in a box.
It's a myth.
Talk to us about that.
So the myth is, and we've heard it, and I've heard it, and we've all heard it in high school or whatever, as long as your gun is 3 steps away from you in your car, you're legally okay. And that is just a made up myth. That's not never been our law. It's never been a real thing, but we've all heard that. Is it a good idea? Yeah, that maybe it is. The best bet is if you don't have a concealed weapon permit, just put it in your trunk. Put it back there securely, safely.
Yeah.
The real law is in Florida, if you're going hunting, camping, fishing, or going to the firing range, you can carry your firearm with you right there. I mean, it could be out in the open. That's the law.
So you can be open carry if you're on a boat.
Open carry.
You can have it right there.
Will you get harassed for that? Probably, because people go, oh, the guy has a gun out, and they don't know you're going to the shooting range or you're going hunting.
Right.
So best bet
if
is
they catch us, we are going to the shooting range.
Yeah, right. Look at my GPS; it's already set.
Many states say that yes, you can open carry, and you can walk right into Walmart or wherever with your firearm. People sit there eating dinner, and they're used to that, and they're very comfortable with that. And at most of these places, you don't have people doing mass shootings. They don't go out because they know everyone around you has a firearm. Another one of the questions that we get is, where can I carry my firearm? Well, I'd like to say this. If you've never taken a concealed weapon permit course, they're going to explain to you how you can carry all these, where you can go, what you can do legally. So the laws change frequently. So always keep up to date with that. And you can always take a CWP class at our location. And once you have a concealed weapon permit class, you can purchase your firearm and take it home that day. If you don't have that, you're going to have to wait a 5-day waiting period. So once you take this class, it's $50 at most places, $50 at ours. It is a real concealed weapon permits class. We're going to make sure that you're qualified, you can shoot correctly, and if you don't, then we don't want you to have that yet. We don't think that you're ready.
Right.
And you know what? We will gladly do this class over again with you, but we want to make sure that if you're getting this license, like most people say, oh, here's your license, they make you shoot into a bucket and you're done. Okay, you don't even aim or anything.
I told you about mine, right?
Is that what you did?
The cap gun.
Oh,
literally a cap gun like kids used to play with back in the day. That was our point, aim, shoot.
That's
a cap gun.
That just makes me crazy, because then they say, hey, you carry firearms safely and correctly. Yeah. You're going to know when to pull it out. You're going to know how to pull it out. There's so many classes that we even have after this to getting your concealed weapon permit. How do you actually tactically do this? So there's a class after that. So we want to make sure that you're doing this correctly and safely. Another one is, hey, I'd love to buy a suppressor, but they're illegal. No, they're not illegal. And, we help you get set up with your gun trust. We get you your suppressor for the firearm that you want. A suppressor is like a silencer. Oh. Now, people are terrified. A silencer. Oh, wow. You know how many people have been murdered with the silencer in the past 50 years? Maybe 3 that they know on record for the FBI. Silencers are just a chunk of metal that are hollow. That's all they are. And they have baffles in it. Now, you have to buy this, wait 10 months before you get your paperwork, all that, fill out all this stuff. You can go in and buy 100 guns today and take them home, but you can't buy this hollow piece of tube. It's just crazy to me. But yes, we do sell those. We set you up with what they want for your firearm, how you're going to use it. They're actually very nice because when we go out on the range, we want to be quiet. We don't want to be blowing the guy's ear out next to us. It's actually a courtesy thing.
Right. Does it affect the trajectory at all or the aiming of it?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Most snipers you'll see do it. The other thing is, how old do I need to be to buy a firearm? Snipers out in the military, yeah, they have those, of course, but when we shoot long range, a mile, that's a long way to shoot. When you can shoot a mile and hit 1 minute of angle, basically, in a little tight square group, that's very impressive. There's maybe 3% of the people that can do that in the world.
Well, tell us where the location is. We're coming into our break here. Give us the location.
We're
address.
at 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. We're right in between West Chase and the Oldsmar Flea Market there on Hillsborough North Side.
And when we come back to, we're going to go through some of the class schedules as well, some of the events you got coming up, and we'll talk more about that. And I had a question, too. I wanted to pose a question. What percentage of U.S. households actually have a gun? It's interesting. I wonder if you might know of that, or maybe we can research that here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And our feel-good story of the day coming up, a mother and her 3 children survived 34 days in the Colombian jungle after getting lost on vacation. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore.
Ask Anthony about Florida law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us here on our radio, TV show, and helping you win is our goal as a consumer advocate. There's a lot of nonsense out there in the mainstream media, a lot of bad advice. We want to make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, so that's why we bring up and talk about over 80 categories, 50 plus show partners here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and it's all about helping you win in any marketplace, as we say. So we appreciate you tuning in, calling in as well, taking us up on our offers when we talk about a rent versus own analysis coming up here with Diane Vance, or even a credit package from William Crowley, or a value check on your home. We got Ray Hall the appraiser. Ray the appraiser as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about here in Tampa Bay. 33308 Camerton Road in Wesley Chapel. So if you want that rural lifestyle, this property's up in Wesley Chapel, Pasco County, Camerton Road. It's over 5 acres, and it's a great opportunity. 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, and just look at all the green pastures there. So you have room for cattle, poultry, livestock. Property is fenced. It's got a septic tank, water softener system, well, and it's a great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. We also have another vacant land opportunity at 5604 Puritan Road in Tampa. Now, check out this property. This is waterfront on the Hillsborough River in Tampa, and the owner's only asking $114,000, and it's a long rectangular looking lot, but it's got frontage on 56th Street, so that's perfect for a commercial strip mall or a business, or build a nice home and you've got access to the river. You got a waterfront bay access property for $114,000. I mean, come on, that's a great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
Big shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort on beautiful Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They got 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Restaurant and Beach Bar right there as well, and lots of amenities, lots of fun to be had over at the Bilmar Beach Resort, Treasure Island, Florida, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give Clyde Smith, the general manager, a call. Talk to him directly, and he's going to hook you up with the Consumer Quarterback Show best opportunity there. Just let him know you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, back here in studio, we got Diane Vance in the house, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Coming up as well, more from Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. But we were talking about, owner occupants, buying that first-time home, especially, get that Airbnb property. Now we're going to talk about investment opportunities here. So you said you had a success story.
Yeah, I actually have a customer that I've probably done 3 or 4 homes for him, and so you can purchase an investment property with as little as 15% down, and he's done very well, and he's actually rented them out as Airbnb, and he's done very well with all of them. And then what he's done is, once they've appreciated, he actually sells those and he buys more.
Nice.
So he's very smart, and he's done a lot of different properties, some of them on the water, some not, just depending on where they're at. And but he's very successful at actually renting them out, and it shows. So
is he doing short-term rental or monthly?
He's doing short-term.
Wow.
He's doing short-term, 7-day. So you have to check with the city, and you have to check with if you're an HOA, or you have to check with their rules, because some cities allow it, some don't allow it. If you buy a condo, you have to check with the condo association, because they have minimum days that you can actually rent out properties. So he actually manages all of his, and but that's what he does, and he's done quite well. He works full time, of course, still, but he's actually built a lot of wealth that way. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of more and more people that I see doing it full time. Like once you get above 6 or 8 or 12 properties, you're kicking off a lot of cash.
Oh yeah,
and you're able to manage that and make that your full time job. And maybe you hire somebody to flip the properties, or do the sheets and all that, or not. Or maybe you don't.
Right.
Maybe you just do it yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's
15% down is what they're looking at for an investor.
Correct.
Okay.
15% down. If it's a duplex or a multifamily, then it's 25% down. But 15% down is not bad. So it's actually it's a good deal. So he started out with just one, and I think he has probably 4 now, maybe 5. And that's what he does.
Is he buying off MLS, or is he finding wholesale deals?
No, he's actually buying off the MLS. He actually does his research.
Yep.
And then I have a mobile app that has a lot of the sales, so he does his research that way, and then he actually buys them direct off the MLS.
Very cool.
So he goes through realtors, and he's done very well.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I like that. There's lots of opportunity buying a duplex, triplex, quad, having that investment opportunity. What about multifamily? Have you dabbled in that? Have you had clients that buy multifamily apartments?
Yeah, matter of fact, I have we can do up to 4 units as a residential. If it's more than 4 units, then it's a commercial. I can, of course, send you to somebody that does the commercial deal. I don't do those, but so if you buy apartment complex or something like that's going to be a different situation. But no, I have a lot of customers. Matter of fact, I have one just called me today, and he's going to do a duplex. He lives in North Carolina, and he's going to end up doing the duplex, and that way he gets a little bit of Florida real estate because he knows rents are going up, and he wants to be part of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that idea. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Diane Vance here, Fairway Independent Mortgage on the Consumer Quarterback Show. She's our mortgage expert contributor. You've also heard some of her team members here on the show as well. Colleen Rodriguez, as well as
Scott,
Lindsay
Vance, Smith.
So you got a great team over there as well.
Oh yeah, I have excellent loan officers. They're all very, very experienced, and they're good people.
Very good.
And I'm always hiring great loan officers. So if there's anybody out there that's interested and wants to be a part of a radio show, they can just give me a call.
I like that. See that? They're great opportunities.
Yeah.
Look at that. For a loan originator out there.
Yep.
Talk to Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and same with the real estate side. We're bringing realtors on the show. We've got tomorrow's show. We've got Blaine coming on the show as well, a realtor on our team. So it's going to be really cool to talk about that and talk about what we're seeing on the buy side, investor side. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about rent versus own. A lot of times this is one of the big things we like. We're really beating that drum, so to speak, right? We want to help people.
Yes.
And if they're renting, they're throwing money away. Right.
So we want to help both the people, the investors that are actually
exactly
that are renting to people.
Yes. We'll help them all.
We'll help them all. But the renters that have been renting or are renting, you always just plan for the future. If you end up with if you, like I said, $27.80 a day is all you need, and in 1 year you have $10,000.
Wow.
So
I like
you can
that.
use that for a down payment. You can purchase with as little as 3.5% down, sometimes 0 down, depending on your situation.
Love it.
So just get started.
Yeah, let's text the word rent and the amount of rent you're paying to our hotline right now. Pull out your smartphone, shoot a quick text message, change your life here. If you're a renter, or maybe even it's for a friend or loved one that you know of, your son, your nephew, your niece, text the word rent in the amount of rent that you're paying to 813-670-7372. Text the word rent to 813-670-7372. And we'll follow that up with, what's your name and email. But so if you want to include that in there, you can. 670-7372. And we want to help you win. Now, Diane, what's that going to look like on the back end?
So if I'll usually call them. If they don't call me back, if I have an email address, if it's really important, if we can get their email address, I can just send them a rent versus own analysis. And basically what that does is it just shows the amount of rent they're paying.
Yes.
And then it will show how much they could actually buy for that and how much their payments would be. And it's an average, because we have to go one step further, which is pull credit and make sure what the credit is. And of course their interest rate is based on that. So it's kind of an average of what the interest rates are out there. So. Right.
Yeah, and you look at the opportunity to leverage. Say for example, if you're buying a $500,000 asset, you're able to leverage a $500,000 asset for basically 15% or 3% down, $15,000.
Correct.
Right. So where else can you do that? Can you do that in the stock market? Can you do that in cryptocurrency? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. And plus to have the opportunity to insure the building, insure the home. So it's a place that you can live in. Mm-hmm. We have to live somewhere. That's one of the top human needs, is having that shelter. Yeah. So it's real estate is definitely a winner.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely the best thing to do. You're always gonna. It should always appreciate.
Exactly. It should, unless the lobbyists and the politicians and the bankers
unless something happens.
They go crazy again and start doing those irrational loan programs.
Right, and I don't see that in the future. I don't see that happening. So
maybe another 100 years down the road, it'll recycle again.
Yeah, we probably won't be doing this at the time when it happens again.
Who knows? We might be living on Mars with Elon and Musk and all that. Who knows?
I have no desire.
Selling real estate up there, right? Yeah, not in our lifetime, but who knows? All right, stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from Thomas King. We're going to talk about, gun safety, concealed carry, and some of the classes that they offer at Florida Firearms Academy here in Tampa Bay, 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. And more from our expert contributors in our lightning round. We're going to drop some top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, as well as our feel-good story of the day. Find out about this mother and her children that survived 34 days in the Colombian jungle after getting lost on vacation. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore. Ask to me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that movie because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Our goal is to help you win in your real estate deals as well. Buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. We are bringing realtors onto the team as well. So if you're a realtor or know of a good one, we would love to interview them and talk to them about helping them grow their business, grow their sphere, and grow their celebrity utilizing our unique radio and TV show model here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings, 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. One of my favorite listings of all time. I mean, this is a gorgeous 2-bedroom, 2-bath property on north side of Clearwater Beach, and you are 200 steps from the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful property here in Tampa Bay. Check out 861 Mandalay Avenue. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. All right, let's talk about another listing that we've got here in Tampa, 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. This is a commercial lot in Largo, corner lot, perfect for an investment opportunity for a business to build. It's just shy of an acre, 0.82 acres, ideal for office, medical, retail, restaurant, goods and services right here in Tampa Bay, 1401 Seminole Boulevard. You know, vacant land is not very readily available in Pasco County, especially in Largo, the Seminole Largo area. So great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com, PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, every day we're going to tell you something good in our feel-good story of the day. Here comes our feel-good story.
Tell me something good.
All right, so this is a mother and her 3 children survived 34 days in the Colombian jungle by living off wild fruits and berries after they got lost while on vacation. The mother, 40, of 3 of her children, aged 14, 12, and 10, were first reported missing on December 19th. Local media reported the family spent most of the 34 days wandering the jungle barefoot, surviving on berries before they were rescued by the Colombian Navy. Quote, they were on holiday in the region when they went to meet their children's father and became lost. Remaining 34 days were missing, General Sergio Alfredo told reporters. The family was found near the village of La Esperanza and the northern Peruvian sector as well, which borders with Colombia. They were following the river, which knowingly crossed into Peru. Local media said the group went missing and found members by the indigenous Sequoia community who contacted Peruvian authorities. The family was taken to the hospital, treated for malnourishment and minor injuries. So, yeah, can you imagine being on vacation? Next thing you know, you're turning around, you're lost in the jungle.
You sure they weren't just playing the longest game of hide and go seek?
Yeah, right.
I would hope they would have one of your guns with them.
Yeah,
I don't know how they survive. What a miracle.
Yeah, good thing there's not
crazy
tigers running around down there.
There probably was.
Yeah, who knows, right? Wild boar, anything could have come out of there.
Snakes is all I think about. Spiders. Oh.
And you can make it by
Everything there will
fasting
get
too.
you.
You could just think of it as a fast, but you got to have water.
Right.
You know, I think that's the key thing right there.
Would you just say the main thing that we need is a place to live? Well,
yeah.
They didn't have that.
Yeah, right. The shelter.
Or food.
So we got Thomas King in the house, Diane Vance as well, Florida Firearms Academy. Thomas King, you had mentioned also you got a success story.
Yeah, we do. You know, this is a lot of things that we get. A lot of people come into our store, but one was a realtor that actually she was getting hurt by someone that was, I guess, tried to check out the home or whatever, called her, and she shot him.
Wow.
And the guy ran away, and luckily, but it did save her life. So we, as Florida Firearms Academy, we have 14 different instructors, but we do a free seminar. So if you have a real estate company or whatever kind of company and you want us to do this free seminar about safety, about firearms, about statistics, we will do that for you because it's something that we do as a free gesture to help our community and the people out there to be a little bit safer. But another one of the things that the questions we get all the time is, they come in and they want to buy a firearm. They fill out the form and they check that they do marijuana. And then we say, oh, well, sir, we have to stop right there, ma'am. And they say, well, no, I got my medical marijuana card. Just because you have that does not mean that you can purchase a firearm. Maybe the state says in some states, yes, the marijuana is legal now. You can smoke it because you need it because of your glaucoma or whatever kind of issues you do have. But the federal state level still says, no, it's not legal. So you cannot purchase a firearm if you do have your medical marijuana card.
Wow.
So make sure that you understand that if you do get that you cannot purchase that until the feds catch up with how the states are actually reacting.
Does that go into some kind of a database, like this person tried to buy a gun, said that, and then every other dealer sees that?
I'm sure somebody somewhere has something on someone about that, but I can't disclose that. We don't keep that information.
Okay.
Every time we say something on our phone, like I'll say, I need some tires, my phone will light up. Hey, buy some tires here. So someone knows something about some.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that when most people come in, they'll say, hey, I just bought this shotgun and I don't, the guy that sold it to me at the gun store didn't show me. We want to make sure you know how to hold, load, aim, and shoot this firearm before you take it out of our store. And I can't stress this enough to people. If you bought a shotgun and you loaded it, most people don't even know how to unload it, or clear it. Don't just bring it to us and go, hey, this shotgun's loaded, and point at us, because we don't know who you are. And first off, you can't just pull a firearm out. It's a federal offense to do that. Even in a gun store, you can't do that. We don't want to see your firearm. If you say, hey, I'd like for you to take a look at my firearm, sure, because we don't know who you are. So let us know, and we will clear this. A lot of times people think, oh, I thought I cleared it, or they did clear it, but they don't realize there's one in the chamber. That's how people get hurt. That's why we have 40 different types of classes. These are instructors that are police and military and have taken it, and they're certified with many different credentials, including myself. So take that time. It's not, some classes are $20, some are free, some are $70, but they're very informative, and they're going to teach you how to hold, load, aim, shoot this firearm correctly and safely. Even maintenance classes. So we also just started a kids shooting team. We have 2 kids shooting team, and our whole goal in this is to get these kids to learn to shoot and qualify to do competition shooting against each other. And these kids are loving this every day. They get to shoot cool target stuff. So now recently we're going to do a women's shooting team, but this is going to be for not just competition. It'll be for home defense and learning and teaching how to do it. So they'll go through a progressions of series of classes. They'll take the test once we feel they're qualified. This is from, if you don't even know how to shoot, this is where we want you to start. It's easy to teach you that way anyways, but it's going to be the Guardian Goddesses shooting team. That's what we're going to have. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the last thing is, Florida Firearms County, we just set up this whole ordeal for Hillsborough County to become a 2A sanctuary county, meaning that the state can't come across and say, hey, here's a new gun law, you got to abide by this. No, we believe in the Constitution and what the federal government and what they wrote back in the day to protect our rights. So we want to abide by that, and we're not going to play with your silly little gun laws that you keep throwing out there, because as I've said a million times, there's 22,000 federal gun laws on book. We do not need another one, and if you do add one, it's not going to stop anything. So if you just come into our store, you can sign the petition, or if you go on our Facebook page, Florida Firearms Academy, you can click on the link there. All you got to do is put your name, and I believe it's your email, and that's it. You don't pay nothing. You don't do nothing. You don't have to do any special sign up, anything. It's just to say, hey, I want Hillsborough County to be a 2A sanctioned city, protected. So
I like that. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning round.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Diane Vance.
Just save $27.80 per day. That's it. That's all it takes. And give me a call.
And that's for 1 year.
That's for 1 year.
So if you saved half of that, you get a 2-year plan.
That's correct. Yes. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. $10.40 a day.
Perfect. 2-year plan.
2-year plan. That's right.
2-year plan to home ownership. You'll have $10,000 at the end of the 2 years if you save $10.40 a day.
Yep. And you can visit my website at dianevance.com, and it has a lot of good information on it. It has a lot of question and answers a lot of people have, a lot of good videos, and a lot of questions.
Great website. Love that. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy.
You got to stick to that too. You could save that $27, and then you get halfway down the season, you go, oh, I really want to go on this cruise, or I love those shoes. You got to really commit to that, right? Discipline.
That's right.
So even if you missed a day, you just throw in, you go, at the end of the week, I forgot, it's $197 or something like that. So that's not a lot of money. And you know what? You just got to make the sacrifices, because owning a home is where it's at.
That's
just
right.
like owning a firearm. That's why we have them. We have them to protect our families. We have them to protect our homes. And we also do them for competition shooting and fun sports, and it's a stress reliever for us. So if you're into that, stress relieving, or just want to come out and learn how to do basic pistol shooting or competition shooting, whatever level you want to be at, we're Florida Firearms Academy. And we're at 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue. Come out there. You're going to meet the most amazing staff, the greatest gunsmith that we have. You're going to meet him as Quincy. You're just going to have a lot of fun there because of the cool parties we have and Brandon and what he does for us as well. So thanks a lot, Brandon.
Yes, my pleasure, Thomas. Always a pleasure as well. And today I wanted to talk about when you're negotiating, when you're talking to people, here's one of the keys. This is an oldie but goodie, right? It's Albert Mehrabian's 7-38-55% rule of communication. All right, so 7% is actually of the actual words that you're saying, the spoken word. 38% of the communication is going to be the voice and the tone. Okay, the tonality of how you say it. 55%, the overwhelming majority, is the body language that you're using when you're expressing the words that you're talking. And Chris Voss talks about in his book, Never Split the Difference, of how you can use this in negotiation as well as picking up on ties or tells rather, and finding out how someone may be lying to you or positioning a lie by looking at, do their words match up with their body language? So it's really cool. Check out Albert Mehrabian's 7-38-55% rule, and it's going to help you increase your success in relationships and negotiation. So another great show. I want to thank Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Reach out for that rent versus own analysis. If you haven't done so, you simply text the word rent to our hotline, 813-670-7372, and we're going to put you in touch with Diane and her team and get you on the road to home ownership, get you into a property. And I want to thank, of course, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. He's got a great team over there. Marty, the whole team as well. Quincy, great team over there to help you learn how to hold and shoot and aim and all the good stuff when it comes to self-defense and home defense as well. Here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.